Hello, welcome back to another episode of and today we're going to talk about something very important for primary care, internal medicine, family medicine, and this is the concept of Aidet, AIDET, acknowledging the patient, introducing yourself, duration of testing, duration of the visit, duration of when are you going to come to visit back the patient, E for explanation, and T for thank you at the end of the conversation. And this may sound like something silly, that what are you talking about? I don't believe that this is something that is being used in the healthcare system. And yes, it is, and it is a measure of quality. So after a patient is discharged from the hospital calls all the patients that has been discharged by a particular doctor, and they ask, hey, did Dr. Munoz ask you how's your day going? Did he ask you what do you feel about your treatment? Did he listen to you? Did you understand all that he said? Did he say thank you? And if you don't get an 85% passing from each of the patients, then you don't get a quality bonus check, or you may be in risk of losing your position if someone else can come and do something that you can do. And this is very important for hospitals, for residency programs. Why? Because a lot of the money that comes for them comes from quality. And if patients around the area where you serve are not happy with your care, they're not going to come to you. So there is another patient that is lost. So now that you know that this is something important and that this is something that we use in hospitals, Aidet, and is used everywhere in the nation, not just one tiny hospital, everywhere. It's a measure of quality care. It's not only for nurses, it's also the education on this also goes for doctors, mainly for doctors, I would say. Now, nurses are better at this, but doctors should understand that customer service is important and should be done by everyone. And now I think this really helps for patients to understand what are they doing at the hospital, what are we doing, what are we thinking. And nowadays that their progress notes, their hospital notes are all available for them in many hospital portals. I believe this is something that is going to continue to take importance, is going to continue to be relevant. So for you, the applicant coming from a different country, coming from a different background, that is going to an interview process, and you don't want to have a simple generic interview, you want to give as much information as you can about you being a stellar applicant, bringing up this topic, bringing up incorporating this information to your conversation will make you shine among the other ones that haven't been able to watch this video and get this inside information. So now that you know what's Aidet and why is it important, because it's important everywhere, and now that you know that, let's see how could you use it. Now I'm thinking just out of my head as 4 questions that you could use this. You could use this on the tell me about yourself, you could use this on one of your strengths, and you could use this on I don't know, any important why internal medicine, why our hospital. You could use it in all of them. For example, let's go to tell me about yourself, and you say, well, my name is Jonathan Munoz. I'm currently doing an observership in the University of Cincinnati. I just passed my step 3. In my free time, I like to volunteer at the local shelters in my community. And my main academic focus, or one of my biggest interests, is to improve patient-doctor communication in order to improve the hospital experience. That sounds really good, right? Like improving the hospital experience through patient-doctor communication. Why? Because it's lacking with all these introverted doctors, with all these people that don't want to talk to family members, with all the information that family members don't understand about diseases, treatment plans, the complexity of the discharge papers that they receive, that you think that, oh, they are going to be able to read the recommendations in this discharge summary. No, they cannot. If you cannot read what some of your partners write, do you think a person that doesn't have any medical education is going to be able to read that and understand and follow the treatment plan? No, unfortunately, we are lacking on educational tools that are sensitive or aware of the patient's health literacy. So all this is based on the ability to communicate with patients. So Aidet is a communication tool, and communication is one of the cornerstones of the practice of medicine. So now you're bringing up an important topic. Your interest is not cardiology, your interest is not preventive medicine, your interest is the basics of a good patient experience, which is very important. I told you how important is that, right? I told you that it involves money, involves quality, all that. So it is very important. But you know what? I'm not telling you something new. I know you know this. I know you're probably a good doctor that knows that has to introduce yourself to the patient. You have to acknowledge the patient. You have to give all this information, and then you just can leave. So I know you are like that, but not many doctors are like that. So now by bringing this information to the table, this is what you are really bringing to this conversation. You're bringing this value on you, the knowing that, or providing the information that your strength lies on communication. Now you can use this as a strength too, at the strength question too. So tell me about your strengths, Jonathan. Well, I hold many strengths, but I would say that my forte is patient communication. I put a big interest on coming to meet my patients, being respectful of their situation, being able, making sure that I acknowledge them. I introduce myself properly as to be the new attending, to be the person that communicates with his outpatient doctor, providing information on the testing or procedures that we're doing this day, the consultants that are coming, so the patient is aware of what's happening, and ultimately also being able to explain all the results, all the procedures, and all the recommendations in a way that is sensitive to the patient's level of literacy, health literacy. Wow, the interviewer will be losing it if you say all that, because it's so important to us. Now, let's say you get asked, I don't know, which other questions you could be asked on this. Why would you choose internal medicine? Well, I think that being a primary care provider involves different things. One of my strengths is communication, and by being a primary care provider, by being the one on the first point on contact to the patients, or in the hospital to be the one that is in charge of the hospitalization course, I can achieve. I can help them better. I can help them understanding the disease process, understanding what are we doing in a given day, what is the next step, what is the discharge plan, and how are we going to be able to transition from the hospital to home in a way that is safe. So I think that's one of my biggest interests in medicine, to be able to connect to patients in a way that I can continue to provide care not only at the hospital but at my outpatient clinic. That's really good. And then why our program? You say the same, but then you also say, oh, and I read that your mission, your hospital mission is to serve this very vulnerable population, heavily in Hispanics, heavily in low income patients, homeless. So see, then you just add the communication part to, I don't know, what your program is looking for, but giving this piece of information, giving the communication part and explaining it in a way that really conveys all these aspects of Aidet, if you want, but most importantly, the patient experience at the hospital, and I also think this boils down to being a good human being, respecting a patient that's going through the most vulnerable states, and providing that information that it eases anxiety, it eases the frustration of not knowing what's happening, the anxiety, the fear. So I think for many reasons, Aidet is a good tool to have in the hospital. Not many doctors will agree with me, but I am happy that such tool has come to play, and more doctors are held accountable for what they do, and their relationships with the patients. You wouldn't believe that many doctors don't even see their patients when they round on a daily basis. But that's not something we're going to deep down on. We're going to talk about Aidet, and that is my inside information for today. Try to incorporate it to your conversation in any way. But most importantly, know about it, read about it, and if you're asked about it, then you have more information to provide. And again, I'm open for more one-to-one interview preparation sessions. Just send me an email through a Facebook group or through the email on the YouTube channel, and we can coordinate for a session or two, and we'll see. Hopefully I am able to help you the same way I have been helping about 25 students this year. It's been very busy, but it's very enjoyable. So that is it for today. Thank you.